before Chicago. I know you just mentioned a couple of guys that this buildup has been maybe your best to date. What about it has made it the best?
Well, first and foremost, just being healthy. I was a little dinged up this winter, and it made it hard to do a lot of workouts. I just couldn't do it because I was in a lot of pain, and it was very difficult, in the build-up to Boston. And that's one of the things that I've always really prided myself on when I've gone to start a race, is that I know that my training's gone great. I work really hard, and that's a big confidence booster for me, always. And I didn't really have that in Boston, so it was definitely a little challenging. But for this one, I think I've been healthy first and foremost, and the workouts have just gone great. I've exceeded a lot of them. Even though just from feeling good, I think that made some good adjustments. We're doing a little more speed work, keeping that going, but still doing a ton of long runs and long intervals as well. So it's been a really good mix.
And when you look at this field, it's quite an interesting mix. You obviously have the world record holder. He's been a little banged up the last couple of years. A lot of other guys, a couple guys that have run 204, 203. How do you see yourself fitting in? Obviously, you've run I say only 209. That's still pretty fast, but you're, most people would consider you among the favorites. Do you have any sense of how the race is going to go, given that it's a flat course, yes, but no rabbits, and also a couple guys that just haven't been at their best recently?
I don't think you can go in thinking that the race is going to go a certain way. That's part of the fun of not having rabbits and just getting down to racing. And a rabbit race is pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of thinking that goes on. You just what's going to go, the pace is going to go out, and you just get on there and, get along for the ride. So here, I think it's awesome that it's just about racing. I think that there's still a good chance that you could have a really good field here, or a really good time here, just given the field, and the way that there are a lot of guys who've run really fast here. And, sometimes there have been, you look at a guy like Abel who's really good in tactical races, and, they might want to get rid of him. You might not want to let it dawdle and have a guy like that hang around if, you've run several minutes faster. Same with me. There are guys that have a lot of faster PRs than I do, and, I've run pretty well in tactical races up to this point, so they might want to take it out. So it's really just important, I think, in a race like this to be ready for anything. You never want to go into something like thinking it's going to be a certain way, and then it ends up being something else. So, just go through all those scenarios in your head, go through them all in training in the build-up, and, I know I'm ready to go no matter if it's fast or slow.
Yeah, do you have a sense of, what you would like it to be? I know you said earlier in the bigger press conference that you chose it because it's a fast course. Would you prefer it to be a 206 race if the conditions allow it?
Yeah, I'd certainly be all for that, without a doubt. I think it'd be great, if it went out fast in the beginning, if it went out honest, whatever that is. But, I'm not going to get disappointed either if it goes out slow. The most important thing in any of these is to win. If you win and run 212 or 213 like you did last year, you're still going to be pretty happy with the result. I know that my fitness is there. I know that I'm ready if it goes out quick. But you never know how it's going to go. So sometimes it's just a matter of getting in the right race at the right time. A marathon especially, there's so many variables that goes into it between, the pace of it, the weather, the course, all of that stuff. So, I know that eventually a fast time will come. I'm not too concerned about that right now. But for here, the main goal is definitely to win. But I wouldn't be mad if it went out quick.
If it goes out a little slower, would you want to push the pace?
You'll have to see on Sunday with that. I never wanted to really give out my game plan beforehand. So.
How did you feel about your tune-up races, the ones at New Haven and Philadelphia?
Good. No, they were really good efforts. I think that Philly was definitely really humid. It was a little bit of a shock for me, but could prove to be good preparation for here. Get the feeling of being really hot. I was really happy with it. In the 20K too, it was something where I was just happy to have good competition there. That guy, Leonard obviously pushed me right to the end, and it was good to be able to sprint and get those competitive juices flowing. Because Philly was by myself for most of the way, so I was it's good to have that competition, I guess.
What were you looking to accomplish in those? Were you trying to run, full out and get a time there, or what was the goal?
In New Haven, it was more about competition than anything else. I definitely had a plan going in before that if it was slow to start pushing, I think it was 5 or 6 miles, right around halfway, and so I did that there, but knowing full well that if I hadn't broken Leonard, that he was going to be there. He likes close finishes. He likes to sprint in all those road races. So I know I definitely had to save a little bit for that there. And then in Philly, that was something where the weather obviously played a big part in that. I again wanted to get going at around 5 or 6 miles in there, and make sure that I at least got in 5 or 6 miles at the end at a pretty good pace. I think it's good practicing surging, and let's say like in Philly too, I kept going afterwards and did a tempo run, so we ended up making it a good long run. So it was a really good day at work.
How much longer did you go? Because Jordan said she did like 7, I think, after that one. Is that about what you did?
I didn't go that far. I think I only went 5 or 6 miles hard, and then just like maybe a mile or 2 easy. So maybe it ended up being 7, but it wasn't all hard. So.
How abbreviated was your preparation before Boston? I mean, I know you mentioned you thought even 2 weeks before that you might have to drop out. I mean, were you surprised at how well you ran there, given how abbreviated it was?
Yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, obviously. Just like Alberto told me before, you're naturally gifted. Sometimes you have to rely on talent. You don't want to do that all the time, but don't rule yourself out. You had done enough that I'd done enough long runs. They just weren't very hard, because I couldn't do that. So I knew I had the strength. I was really more worried about covering surges, and my speed just wasn't there. I was really struggling in a lot of the shorter workouts. Part of it was because of my foot, and then we just kind of fell behind. So, it was, for me, the biggest thing before Boston was just, mentally to keep a calm mind. And, a marathon, your mind's a very powerful thing. It's like that on the track too, but the more you can stay calm in there and, just have that mental fortitude, I think was huge, and that's what I'm mostly concentrated on in the weeks before. Was I've been here before. It wasn't my first marathon. I wasn't so new. I knew what to experience, and it's just about having confidence and really that mental fortitude to keep going all the way.